So we begin the 113th session of the Aimless campaign. As we rejoin the party deep in the darkened west, having just defeated two Archidesca demons, which is the term that I gave to the demonic mammoths, who invaded their campsite as they tried to rest for the evening on their arduous journey to Larcoast, the place of origin for Metaphor. If that's his real name.
It's not.
And yes, the rest for the evening. So for some reason, these monstrous mammoths were attracted to your camp, came trumpeting fire from their splayed trunks and goring you with their many spiked tusks. But you managed to slay them, and then they subsequently exploded, leaving little remaining but scorched earth and random bits of mammoth flesh and mange hanging from trees and splattered across the forest floor. All of your treant guardians, awakened treants, were destroyed. You still have the campsite surrounded in your solid fog. But other than that,
did I notice what the moon was doing overnight?
what the moon was doing overnight?
Right.
It is 3 days until full moon.
3 days until full moon. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Were you expecting it to do something specific?
Oh no, I now know that I need to, catch some mistletoe on
the
full
mistletoe.
moon.
Yeah, no, you got a couple days. And that's the primary, that's the big white moon. There is a smaller yellow moon, and that one has a much longer phase.
Okay.
So the white one has pretty much the same phase time period as our moon. So it's about 28 days.
Cool.
The smaller one, I think it's like 47.
And
that one really doesn't count as far as like when you're talking about full moons and stuff like that, because it's dim, it's small, it's more distant. So anything that requires specifics of the moon, it's talking about the primary moon, which is called Sora.
Okay, sure. I'm putting a reminder into my personal planner.
3 days, look for mistletoe.
3 days hence. That's mistletoe.
Okay. Alrighty.
A couple of nice in mind.
Yeah, we can put your stuff.
So with that, you return to the party.
Did you get your die from John? Sorry.
If I remember correctly, Meta and Sersha were the first on guard duty, and that is when the Archidesca demons approached. So at this point, you guys are going to change with Feldspar and Octavia.
Sounds good.
So Feldspar and Octavia, you'd like to give me some perception checks?
Oh, because we have to finish tonight. I was thinking we were on to the next day.
Okay. 13.
I can do this just fine. Perception. Ooh, that's an actual one anyway. It's the end of it.
Okay. So you guys go on about your watch. And while the Druid Grove fog is a solid fog that is basically opaque to enemies, it is transparent to Feldspar and whoever he designates. It still is somewhat, it makes things a little blurry because you still see that there's something there. You can see through it, but it's not,
Hey,
not-
actually, I think that after we had that battle that I put up tiny hut for us to like finish a well rest. Didn't I do that?
yeah, I think you did that.
Okay.
But anyway, Octavia, in order to, get a clear view of your surroundings, you kind of have to walk around the outside of the Druid Grove effect. And since you have that 120 feet dark vision, you do kind of adopt a little bit of a patrol to make the most use of your long range sight. While doing so, you get a strange sense of familiarity. Some of this looks like something you've seen before. And unable to help yourself, you start venturing away from the camp and wandering down into the valley, noticing certain rocks and outcroppings that give you this sense of nostalgia and a memory tugging the back of your mind. It's just double check this. It is late winter and there is snow on the ground. But as you wander and you're like noticing, rock formations and certain things that are just you feel like you've been here before. The snow beneath your feet gives way to crunchy, dry leaves. And the night, even though it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, breaks and seems to quickly change to day. And you hear the bustling sound of a group of people talking and moving objects around. You can hear the jingle of metal objects clanking into each other, the flutter of canvas in the wind, and the sound of footsteps also stepping on twigs and branches. And moving towards the sound, you see an encampment. A group of leather-clad, seems like local barbarian folk, and a second cohort almost of the same size, wearing more polished and well-made armor, a noble's retinue. And you can see a few tents and one larger tent set sort of in the middle of the encampment, and a flag flying above that tent. That is the Wistall flag.
Great.
And you can see that on the noble's retinue, they are wearing the colors of your family.
Which
And
are,
blue and gold. And as you approach, you realize that no one notices you, no one sees you, and you are walking through a mirage, an illusion, but then you realize as you see a small girl sitting on a log, not very small, she's probably early teens. She's dressed in noble hunter's clothes, and she is attempting to string a bow unsuccessfully. And she has a large birthmark on her face. This is a memory of you.
oh,
Just after you see yourself, you hear someone call your name. And you turn to look, coming out of the large tent with the Wistall flag flying over it. You see your father. He comes over and checks how young Octavia is doing and attempts to direct her properly in how to string the bow. And you realize that, yes, you have been here before. Long time ago, you accompanied your father on a hunting expedition into the darkened west. There was a cotillion planned for the same time that he was going to go on this expedition, and you begged and pleaded him to take you with him so that you wouldn't have to suffer the noble event where the young folk are supposed to dance and interact with each other, as you always had an awful experience of those things. Generally speaking, you would just hang out near with your father anyway, because you were unfortunately not very popular in your youth. But yes, he did take you on this expedition, and while you weren't especially good at hunting, you just enjoyed spending time with your beloved dad. And he tried to impart what little knowledge you could gain from the process. But you notice that he was spending a lot of time interacting with the barbarian guide that he had hired for the expedition. A man named Aaron, that in your memory at this point came and approached him and said he needed to speak with your father about the plan for the day and the hunting path that they were going to take. When your father disappeared with Aaron, you wandered the camp, and most of the other members, a hunting group of about 20 people, the barbarians completely ignored you. The noble retinue, a couple of guards, and a couple of other lower tier huntsmen than your father, who was an earl. So like a couple of lords, one baron. They paid you heed, but mostly did not want you to get in their way. And walking around the campsite, you heard a noise, a whimpering cry that drew your attention. And you started to move towards it. Sounded like it was coming from the brush, a ways off of the campsite. One of the guards grabbed a hold of you and said, "Can't wander out of the camp." Fetch your father. So you went to find your dad, told him that you heard this noise, and he warned you against it, saying it's probably a wounded animal. It's dangerous. Don't go anywhere near it. You protested and drug your father out to the spot where you could hear it. And when he got there, he too could hear the noise, and uh, he told Aaron to accompany him and go check it out. At this point, you see your father and Aaron leave the camp. And curious yourself, you follow them while the young version of you stands back, patient or impatiently heeding your father's command. And as you follow your father Augustus, barbarian Aaron, you come to the source of this sound, a large fern, and pulling aside the fronds, Aaron reveals a small creature wrapped in some rough fabric, burlap, or just a rough old woolen blanket, something of that nature. Purple, humanoid, with tiny little horns.
Oh, boy.
And
Aww.
your father turns to Aaron and says, "You can't let her see it. If she sees it, she'll want to take it home." And Aaron says, "Well, we can't just leave the baby here. I'll take care of
Aw.
it." He says, your father tells him, "Very well, return at your earliest convenience. We still have to find out if that story about Marsters is true." And at this point, you feel a hand on your shoulder. And you turn around, and standing behind you is a beautiful woman, 7 feet tall, draped in white gossamer fabric. Artemis. She says, "You don't remember this, do you?" And you stand there as Aaron picks up baby Amygdala and walks away from the camp. And your father returns back to you. And Artemis says, 3 days from now, your father died. you push this memory away. I wanted to tell you, but you never had the strength to accept it until now. You haven't had the strength for many things, including understanding some of my messages clearly. When someone becomes a contract bearer, as you have become with me, that is a that is a known quantity. Beings of my kind see time differently. I knew even when you were a child that you were going to come to my fold at some point. And I orchestrated you being here as best I could. I wanted you to find her. I wanted you to take care of her. And as Artemis says these things, you can see an alternate version of history where you did find Amy and you did argue passionately with your father to take her home with you. And you raised her. And she became part of the Chanclair family and learned how to fight with a sword and become a bodyguard to you, an adoptive daughter, and eventually a paladin of relics. And most disappointing of all of this was seeing that your father was there for all of these things. That in this alternate version of things, of events, he didn't die. He didn't venture off on the hunting expedition where he was mortally wounded. And died of a slow, painful wound on the trip back to Wistal. And Artemis says, I wanted you to find her. I'm so sorry that you didn't. And I don't hold it against you. You were just a child. But things didn't turn out the way they were supposed to. Early on in our arrangement with each other, I told you to protect the child. And I think you assumed it was that little blonde boy. But
OMG.
he belongs to Payana. No, that was only an echo of what I was trying to tell you in this moment. And she looks up the hill, you know, in the distance of or in the direction of the camp, and you follow her gaze, and it's a little strange because you follow her gaze and you literally follow her gaze out of the daytime into the night up to the campsite, and you can see that she is looking at Metaphor. And she says, because one child couldn't follow the path, another one had to. But now you're strong enough. You can hear me clearly. And my message does not change, except for perhaps from protecting the child to protecting the children. And you see, like, she's extremely sorrowful in this moment, and she looks, and you can still see the barbarian taking baby Amy away. And she's, almost kind of got tears welling in her eyes, thinking of the hardship that child will have to go through. She says, I'm with you, always. I entrust this task to you. And she takes your hand and holds it in her hands. And when she lets go, you see that there is a ring on your middle finger that is gold with 3 emeralds. She says, it's a small token. Use it to protect the children. And the brilliance of her presence starts to dim as everything around you gets darker and darker until you find yourself standing in a snowy valley in the middle of the night.
With Feldspar.
Oh no, he's up the hill back at the
Right.
camp.
Not even
Feldspar.
realizing I'm gone.
Yeah, Feldspar, roll a natural 1 on his perception check.
There was a really hot tree in the field.
For sure.
Yeah, there's a species of tree he's never seen before.
Well, I better make my way back up there.
So this ring is not going to take one of your attunement slots.
Okay.
What it does is it allows you to use, what is it called, your arcanum?
Oh, an eldritch invocation?
No,
Oh,
the 6th, 7th, 8th level spells that you can cast once per day.
uh-huh.
What are those called? The
Here's the front.
Is it Mystic Arcanum? Is that?
The source book, right?
Let's look at my features and traits real quick. So eldritch invocations. Let's see.
Oh.
These are.
yeah, it's Mystic Arcanum.
Yeah, mystic, there's different mystic arcana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what this will allow you to do is you can use a additional Mystic Arcana. Every time you do it, it's going to burn out one of the 3 emeralds.
Oh,
So you can do this 3 times, but it will work on any Mystic Arcana you have.
3 times total forever.
3 times total forever.
Okay. And it needs to be one that I already have, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Makes sense.
Best case scenario, you could completely brokenly cast 4 9th level spells.
Right.
But once you use it 3 times, it's done.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so those are Feeble Mind, Finger of Death. Right now, those are the only 2 higher level ones I have. So far. So. Yep. Like in a row. Or again, that same day, I guess I could. That makes sense.
Why that finger of death though?
I know. Oh,
Yeah, without any further event, you do make it back up to the camp. And there are no other surprises in the evening.
my leg. Nana, Amy, come here, babies. Come here, baby. Maybe in my mind, I'm like, puppy.
Is it like just in the morning? Like we're just waking up?
No, that's it. The Feldspar and Octavia had like the middle shift. So at the end of their shift, Amy and Rip take over, and that's what carries you into the morning.
And then Amy sent her stuff to us. Cause are you Amy? You're gonna do Amy stuff?
If I can open it here, I'll see.
Lots of rolling hit points.
Oh yeah. She's
Oh,
on
yeah.
there this year.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Dang, she has a lot of hit points compared to me. It's kind of cool seeing other people's stats.
Yep. Just weird not having any spells.
I
It
know.
was looking at yours, I was like, dude, whoa, 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 whoa. It is weird looking at someone else's sheet because you're used to your own and is that his?
Yeah, I'm looking at his here. Like there's he does have 2 second level spells in there.
If we continue playing, I wonder if he'll do a barbarian yet again. Like he'll always be a barbarian.
Yeah, right.
That's always the only character he's ever played.
I'll swing my great axe.
Yeah.
That's just how some players roll.
I always want to play magic characters. Like,
My wife has been 3 campaigns of mine, no, 4. 4 campaigns of mine. 3 of them she played an Azamar monk. One of them she played an Oreed Barbarian. That one didn't. That one was kind of short. She gave something else a try.
I think if I ever play if I ever get to build another character, maybe I'll go more combat direction.
I've been looking at the blade dancing wizard. I can't remember. I think it's what's it? Blade singers. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that it's maybe overpowered because it gets like a lot of stuff from the martial classes, but then it also can cast counterspell. So
Hmm.
it gets to the full wizard spell list, but then it also is like a martial class as well, which is pretty strong.
Well, just a heads up, guys. If you do want to play another game after this one,
Yeah,
it's not going to be D&D.
yeah, Pathfinder,
It's going to be Pathfinder.
that's fine. I played it before, I liked it. It's the same. I know that's blasphemy to say that to you, but
I mean, they have the same DNA.
like, it's the same thing. It's the same role.
They're both tabletop role playing.
What, you're not gonna do one D&D?
Absolutely not. I am not giving another penny to Wizards of the Coast for what they're doing to D&D. I don't even really like the new version of Pathfinder. I found the system that I liked. Pathfinder First Edition. That's what I want to play.
I mean, you're the boss.
Nobody else has to play with me.
I'll play.
I'm just
I'll play.
I want to keep going. Forever.
Like,
All right.
would you still be able to access cool shit?
there is way more cool shit in Pathfinder.
Wow.
So yeah, I just what meta you did like 180 points of damage in one round of the fight last time or something like that.
It was something crazy. Yeah, it was some crazy stuff.
Yeah, the barbarian in the Pathfinder game could regularly break 200 points of damage with a crit.
Jeez. That's nuts.
So it's more powerful.
Yeah. I've definitely gotten that sense, considering when we port characters over from 3.5e to this, I'm like, I'm never gonna be that powerful.
Yeah. When they fought Tiamat, she had 4,000 hit points and she regenerated 200 hit points a round.
Goodness gracious.
And they still killed her. So, oh, and she complete healed 5 times, or healed herself 5 times, which for her was 250 hit points of healing. Alrighty. So, without getting into the weeds on it, Amy and Rip, your watch passes by without event, and morning creeps into the valley. The rest of you awaken from your night of rest, and I'm assuming continue on your journey.
Yeah. I'll probably let the group know about my vision. Endearing me to the tieflings, my babies.
How old is Amy?
What she want me to do?
What?
Yeah. What do I gotta walk?
Just be a paladin, bro.
Oh. Okay.
I got your back. I got
And
your
let
back.
Octavia protect you.
Well, that's
Maybe.
good. I feel like that she's not got the armor and stuff. I don't really see how that's going to be effective, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah,
What?
you're gonna have you're like wimpy. Like, look at your scrawny arms.
Finger of death, bro.
Oh,
Are you
you
gonna
gonna
cast
cast it on
I
me?
can cripple you.
Yeah, put the finger into death right now. I'll regenerate it.
protect the child?
Wait, you're
Figure
supposed to
death.
protect me, yeah.
I
Also-
can whatever the mire the mind or like totally delete your memory.
Also, like, what's with all the child thing?
Which
Like,
wouldn't
let
take
me get this
much.
straight. She says to protect the child, and she expects that you understand that it's this full ass grown tiefling. And then she was like, "Oh, you got my information wrong. What is that? We've met one child this whole time.
Well,
Well, two, I guess.
I feel like
wires
if
get
we didn't-
crossed
if we
in
knew
the
we could
destiny
kill the
path,
one
okay.
kid-
Would you have just killed that blonde
No,
kid that
I
was
just-
doing nothing but
I-
healing people?
I think that fight would have gone quicker if we knew we could have hurt him, you know?
He was helping us.
He wasn't.
Was he?
He was on our team at that point.
He wasn't.
Yeah. Huh? The blonde kid with monsters? We didn't fight them directly. Not really.
Yeah,
They
kinda
kind of
did.
the sea monster did.
You need to talk to your god about being grateful for things.
He doesn't know shit about that. My God,
He just wants to have a good time.
do you remember the last time that my God showed up? He heard I was lost at sea and then laughed and belched loudly and summoned a follower.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
That's probably blasphemous to say, right?
I don't know. He usually just says so if it is. I don't really think there's really much blasphemy. It's just kind of like not being sober. I don't know. Maybe I haven't studied the holy texts as much. Should we get going? I mean, do we want to head out?
Yeah.
All right. So we're heading towards the coast, the Lar coast, and I'll cast Windwalk.
Okay. So you are continuing west. You have several more days of travel. And I'll say you're probably going to have someone else make the survival check.
Yes, I think
Who are you assisting, Metaphor?
Sersha should probably make the survival check. Although she just got up to check on Gwenny. So I can make the survival check for her. So does she roll at advantage?
Yeah.
That's an 18.
Okay. All right. So you continue west and you make decent time. You manage to cross several mountains in this process. And as the as the wind walk begins to come to a close, you search for a decent place to land. And who wants to make that survival check?
We can make that one too.
Can I make that one too?
Sure.
Dang.
Yeah, nat 20 for 26.
Sersha spots a somewhat concealed cave. Looks like it would make for a decent camping spot. Large enough for all of you to fit comfortably. Doesn't appear to have a back entrance. No likely chance of ambush. How do you want to set up for the evening?
The same shifts or
Well, I thought before we could go to bed. I mean, I guess we're making camp, right?
yeah.
So I mean, we should build a fire in the cave probably, and we could put up, what's it called again?
Lehman's tiny hut.
Yeah.
Is this cave like more like in the mountainous kind of region or part of the like outside the cave? Are we looking at like woods or is it kind of
It is forested mountains.
forested mountains? Okay, cool.
Can't you shape stone into like beautiful things?
I can.
Why does it have to be beautiful?
Oh, I don't know.
I can do a variety of stone things, but at the moment I think I can make a small object of my own choosing, or I could also make a little wall.
We'll just
But-
maybe just do the hut then.
The wall is only 5 feet. I made a little 5-foot wall.
That's pretty cool.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm
It's a
gonna
little privacy changing.
Yeah.
Put on your jammies behind it.
yeah.
When
I
he-
haven't taken this armor off in like since I got it. So,
you have that button.
oh yeah.
You take it off several times a day.
Whoop, 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 whoop. I thought maybe we should talk about what we're gonna do once we get to Larcoast. Because I don't really have a plan. I mean, I think I have the beginnings of a plan. I know what not to do, sort of. But it kind of depends on what y'all want to do when we get in there. And I mean, are we just gonna like go in and be like, I challenge you to an honorable duel? Because they're not gonna go for that. Or like, you know what I mean? We probably need to sneak in, at least somewhat.
I mean, you know better than us what anything about this place is like.
Well, it's been 15 years or something like that since I've been there. I don't know how it's changed. And I also don't know what this thing on my neck is. And I don't know if we're just going to pop in there and they're just going to know immediately, you know? Because it doesn't come off and I think it's magic. Does Amy have her hat of disguise?
Sure does.
Can I see it for a second?
Amy takes it off of her head and hands it to you. She's been
I
in
don't
this guy
think Amy
the whole
hardly
time.
even wears it anymore.
Say what?
I said I don't think Amy hardly ever even wears it anymore. You think?
She's got it equipped.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on and I'm gonna
And does she
try
have
to
it attuned right now?
Oh,
Yeah.
see.
Those-
It's an attunement item, and I feel
Yeah.
like she's gotten other items that she may have replaced that with.
Yeah.
Gosh, she's got 5 items that require.
I didn't realize it was an attuned item. Does
So-
anyone have an
When,
easier way?
when not attuned, it looks like a fedora.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
You're welcome.
An easier way to what? What are you
Thank
wanting to do?
I just want to see like if I can cover this up with a disguise. Because the thing is, well, I guess it won't matter too much if I'm branded, because everyone else in the town is too. But my point is that probably based on how I left Larcoast, that I'm on like, you know, when well, no, that's like the real world. You know how like when people are like fugitives and they put up wanted posters.
Yeah,
Well, it's probably gonna be similar to that.
Man.
so you wanna attune to the hat?
Unless someone else can can change my form. Although we might want to go in under like several of us be disguised because they're really not gonna like Amy and Feldspar. I don't know how they're gonna feel about you either.
Yeah, they're not into, they're not into druids.
I mean, I
What are you trying to say, Meta?
yeah, they're not into the to druids.
I brought a change of clothes, nobody will know.
Okay. I'm glad that
Remind
you
me,
picked up on my meaning quite
remind me
astutely.
of our objective here.
I mean,
To level up.
to no, it's not what you said. It's to bring this evil men to justice for the crimes that they've caused the members of this town.
Okay,
That they
how are
basically,
there?
huh?
How many of these guys are there?
Oh, like when I was part of it, there was probably like 80 or so in the one group, and then like probably like 40 to 50 in the other. I can't remember exactly. But you know what I'm hoping is that it's mainly the leaders at the top of the food chain. Um, and that the rest of them are just good people who got mixed up and with the wrong crowd, you know?
How big is this town? I was thinking that we were going to a backwater village.
It kind of is. It kind of is, but
Are
well,
these people government officials or is it like an underground posse?
I mean, I grew up thinking that like they were like the saviors of the town and the surrounding villages. Like I grew up idolizing them.
Are
But
they political leaders or not? Or like, are they involved in the city
well,
government or no?
well,
Wouldn't the one try to assassinate?
Or is it like a gang?
well. So they're kind of like a mercenary organization, I guess. But
Okay,
the one whose name I can't remember currently, um, hold on, it'll come to me. Remember they've kind of like they told us a lot of things. I think a lot of it was lies though. But basically the one guy is kind of taken over as the leader of the town. At least that's what it
okay,
seemed like.
okay.
He sort of like when we started speaking out against the amount of food that they were taking from us to feed their barracks.
Yeah,
They sort of like lined everybody up and like did some public executions, and they like really messed up this one guy, and they were gonna kill me, and then they branded everybody in the town. So like they're not good guys, but they have a lot of influence in the surrounding area because they, like campaign as like this holy organization, but they also have like some assassins as well. They have a lot of assassins actually.
are they mostly human?
Yeah.
So maybe we go in and we pretend we just get some information first before we just start doing stuff, figure out who we need to go after, etc.
Well, the the one that I guess the main guy whose name I can't remember and I can't look up my backstory currently because it's on my phone. His name his name I can't remember. I'm worried about him, but I'm honestly more worried about his brother, Edmund. Because Edmund is like a ghost. Like he controls all these like assassins and spies, and they really they seem to know everything and know where everybody was all the time. Those are the people that I worked with, and I never wanted to, but yeah, they were they were not cool. So who knows? They might have like spies in any town that we visit. Like not necessarily looking for us. I don't think they know that we're coming or anything, but
Okay. Appreciate the rundown.
So if you're in disguise, like what's it gonna be like for Amy here? If you take her
why don't we I'm just saying, why don't we all like we should probably approach the town under seeming or something.
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't really know what to expect when we get there. It's been a long time. I don't know what the town's gonna look like. And I especially don't know what the order is gonna be like. And cause like there's a lot of things that I don't understand, like why the symbol is the symbol of Vortha when they said that they said that they were serving Relinox the whole time. And I thought that's who it was, but yeah, I never knew all these different holy symbols and stuff. So I don't know. And like all the demons in the forest here and stuff, I have no idea what we're walking into. I think we're just gonna show up and hope for the best. They've probably forgotten all about me at this point. So about how long are we from Larkostan?
Probably another 3 days.
So we don't have to worry about it for now. But probably makes sense for at least me and Amy to not go into town and not go into town without some sort of disguise.
Okay.
And probably honestly Rip and I mean pretty much anybody that's not human. Who knows? We probably just don't want the attention.
Well, I can't exactly look like human because I'm too short.
You look like a kid.
We could
Yeah,
Oh, it looks
there you
like a
go.
kid.
saddle you up and
I'll be a kid.
you got baby fever now.
I got baby fever. We'll pretend you're my child.
I'll go, yeah, as a little
Protect the child.
kid.
And I'll protect you.
Um,
Oh, she's the protector of kids.
but I mean, do you guys have any questions about? I can try to answer some stuff. I don't really know how much I'll know though. It's been 15 years, like I said. And it doesn't seem like anybody from like the Duke knows of these guys, but doesn't really know what they're doing or anything. I kind of want to go in there and make sure that Edmund and his brother, Rex something, I think. I can't remember his name.
Exerd.
Yeah, Rexard, aren't able to have control of the order because I knew some of the knights of the order and they were fine folks. Not really the Steel Shadow. They were assassins, but you know, maybe they can be allies in the fight against Lamash too.
Are you the order? Is that one of these two groups? You said there's a group of 80 and a group of 40.
Well, there's the Order of the Shining Steel, and that was sort of the main group that everyone knew about was the Order of the Shining Steel. But it's like, what do they say? If you want to see how the sausage gets made, get out of the kitchen, something like that. Is that how it goes? The sausage was made by the Steel Shadow, which is Edmund's group. And they were doing all sorts of I was part of their group because they saw me as a monster. And we were, you know, shaking down people and you know, I didn't really do some of the really dirty work. But Edmund, I think, relished in it. So the order, you know, they send knights around to neighboring farms and villages to help with fighting you know, monsters and raiders and things like that. I don't know how many people really knew about the Steel Shadow and that they were connected, but I don't even know how many of the Order knew that.
Word.
Mhm.
How many days away are we?
Like 3.
Yeah, so reckon we should call it a night and just keep on trucking here.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink heavily for a while.
Okay.
I'll take last watch.
Yeah, well, Amy and Feldspar will take the first watch. Oh.
All right. So give me your perception checks.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Amy got a 25 and Feldspar got a 12.
Um, the cave proves to be a safe and secluded space. Amy hears some noises outside, but when she goes to check, it's just a raccoon foraging for something, trying to dig into the base of a tree underneath the snow. Nothing of note or concern transpires.
Okay.
Hey, who's up next?
I'll go next.
With
I'll go.
so Octavian Rip. Perception checks.
Okay. 8.
Doo, doo, doo. 21.
21. Okay. Uh the night continues to pass by fairly uneventfully. Rip, you hear the sounds of something small rummaging around outside the cave, but without line of sight, you don't really know what it is. And I imagine Rip is not the type to go out and check.
Nope.
Okay, so that leaves us with Saoirse and Meta. Yeah,
Your cat's crazy.
I'll help you.
that's how she rolled.
That's comfy.
A 21. Oh, 21?
Okay.
21? Oh, he helped me.
Oh, okay. So Saoirse, the as light begins to creep in from the cave entrance, you hear gusts of wind precede the sound of clattering stones. And then a sort of hiss of rainfall follows after.
I think it's just storming or
Oh no. What was that? Clattering of stones.
I don't know, maybe like an avalanche? What if we're trapped?
It's okay. Feldspar can move rocks.
Oh, yeah.
5
Now we
feet.
have teleport.
5 feet's all we need. 5 feet's all we need. I'm so a little drunk.
Should I check it?
Actually, Meta, give me a perception check.
Uh, 11.
11.
Good idea.
Yeah, you're a little drunk and you're a little hungover.
I'm like both, you know. I've been drinking a lot. It's not been pretty. I'm a little nervous, I think. No. You don't get nervous, do you? Or do you get nervous?
I get nervous.
Oh. Well, you know, it's like that's someone here that almost killed me. What?
Nothing.
You're not a very good conversation partner. You're just always quiet.
I'm gonna check out what's going on at the mouth of the cave. I'm gonna like sneak and look and see if it's just a storm.
Okay.
Terrible conversation partner.
Yeah, I'm just
Alright.
walking away from you.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Wow.
A 26.
26. Okay. You creep out to the edge of the cave, and you can hear this the hiss of rain. And looking out, you can see that the snow outside the cave has started to discolor this sort of like orangish pink color. And the trees nearby, you can see this faint orange liquid trickling down them. And the trees are wilting rather rapidly.
Ruh-roh.
Does it look like the liquid will like come into the cave?
No, the cave is on the side of the hill. Looks like it'll just, you know, if it moves at all, it's just gonna trickle down the side of the mountain.
Okay. I'll go back to Meta and be like, well, that doesn't look good,
What?
and tell you about the orange pink liquid that's killing the trees.
Oh. I think it tastes.
Don't try that.
Like if does it
Don't do it.
Is it weird that when there was like all that like exploded mammoth, that I was curious about how some of the like little bits would taste?
Yeah.
I've never eaten a demon.
Yeah, we ate the sea monster.
Oh
That
yeah,
was really tasty.
it was
though.
really tasty, right?
Yeah.
What if this orange goop is like demonic custard?
I would not eat the orange goop. It might be like demonic pea or something.
Okay. Well, are we just gonna stay in here?
I mean, it's not gonna come in the cave. Feldspar might be interested though. Should we wake him up?
Yeah. Well, he needs to sleep too. It'll probably it's almost morning, right?
Yeah.
We'll wait until morning, then we'll show Feldspar. He'll probably be interested.
Okay. Maybe 20-30 minutes later, you hear a few more gusts of wind, another clattering of rocks, and and the hissing of rain seems to stop.
Should I go look again?
Yes.
Okay, I'll sneak back out again to look.
Okay. Stealth check.
All right. 28.
Okay. You go back outside. It seems like a good amount of the snow has melted. All the trees out to about 40 50 foot radius are just black. The some of the branches have shriveled up, and there's bits of wilted, rotted bark that has fallen onto the snow, which now has what snow remains, and a lot of it seems to have somewhat melted from whatever this rain was. There's a orange slush that seems to go out the same distance as the wilted trees.
Okay, I'm gonna go back in the cave.
Acid rain.
Feldspar is gonna be devastated.
Well, wait, you're like alchemically inclined.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know if I care that much. Should I investigate more?
I don't know. Maybe you could use it as a poison or something.
Do I have any vials? Didn't we use them to like take all the flying blood?
I want to go to the mouth of the cave and just sniff with my divine sense.
Do not eat it.
Sniff with my divine sense. I'm not looking to eat, only to sense evil.
Okay, you go out to the mouth of the cave, you activate your divine sense. You don't get the presence of anything fiendish or angelic or fey or whatever within 60 feet. Aside from the very faint blip that you and Amy create.
It smells no worse than I usually do. It's probably nothing. You know?
Yeah.
Trees just do that, right? We can
I've
Feldspar.
never been here before, but like weirder things have happened.
Feldspar knows. He'll come out there and be like, yeah, trees just kind of do that sometimes.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this feels like a Feldspar investigation,
Yeah.
Because Feldspar is famously great at investigating.
Is it, are we up? Is it morning?
You're up when they wake you up.
Okay.
What time is it?
It's pretty early, like 7, 8 in the morning.
Oh, he got his full hours. Let's go rustle him.
All right.
Feldspar!
Huh? What? What is it?
Hey, come here, come check out this blight upon the landscape.
My God, what happened? What happened to the forest? What did you do?
We didn't do anything. We just heard like a gust of wind, some rocks, and then it rained for a while, and now, well, just go look at it.
I'm gonna go take a look out the cave. The cave entrance. Do like a
You see what I described to Saoirse. Blackened trees, bark that's fallen off. Give me a nature.
on. Yeah, 22. How about that?
22. Okay.
On here.
Seeing the damage that's been done to the trees, you're fairly certain that they have been poisoned.
It looks like somebody poisoned the trees.
what's this? So this orange stuff, I guess, is the poison.
Can I tell if it's like dangerous to like step out and onto the like if the poison is
I
like
actually have. I had this spell prepared, and I never prepare this one. But I'm gonna cast Detect Poison and Disease.
Okay.
I can sense the presence and location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of me, and I can also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case.
dang.
Okay. Yes. All of that orange slush outside is now poison. Um. And you you've never heard it before, but the name of this poison, since apparently your magic tells you that, is down drip rot.
Down drip rot.
And I think you'll at least know about this poison that it is a contact poison. So just touching it can poison you.
Sersha, or Feldspar, do you know about down drip rot?
I feel like I've heard that just touching it can poison you.
Well, I mean, clearly,
Mm-hmm.
Make a nature check.
No.
Do I make a nature check as well?
You could make a poisoner's kit check, I guess.
Right, that's another 22.
she gets your reliable talent.
Yeah, I think so.
You've never heard of down drip rot.
I've never heard of down drip rot.
No.
I think it's just proficient. 17, I think.
You've also never heard of down drip rot.
Dang.
Well, maybe we can, once we settle things in Larcost or something, or maybe we can find someone that knows about it. Keep a note of it. Where
You
did
said it came from above. There might be something on top of this mountain.
maybe?
But, you know, not our chair, not our problem, right? Should we just windwalk and keep moving?
Yeah, I suppose we can keep moving.
Or do you want to
Meet
investigate?
the rest of the group up, I guess.
Investigate.
Okay. You wake the rest of the group up.
Yeah.
Are you continuing on your way, or are you going to try to investigate this occurrence?
Well, what do y'all want to do? I mean, we're not in a rush to get to Larcos necessarily.
I mean, we can go to mist form and like fly and see what's going on. We don't have to get out of mist form.
That's true. Or we can just try to.
I think we investigate because we're getting closer to our destination. We should find out kind of what's going on in the surrounding area. I don't think it hurts, but I don't know.
Did I check to see if I remember anything from my schooling?
You can make an intelligence check.
Okay. Ooh, that's a good roll. Beep bop boop. 23.
23. You have also never heard of down drip rot.
Ow.
All right, well, either we fly up there as a group, or I can pull the giant eagle,
Take them undercover, right?
can pull the giant eagle out, and fly up there. I mean, I guess we should all go.
We can send Buddy with you too.
Do you guys want to hang back and I'll fly up and see what's what? I just feel like I have a feeling that something that's, spreading this much acid over this area probably isn't
Well, it's not acid, it's poison.
poison. Probably isn't small. Can we see like
But didn't it come with the rain?
It sounded like rain, but it could have been the acid dripping.
how far out?
You
does
just corrected him about
Or
acid.
poison, sorry, yes.
it- can we see like how far this the poison's affecting the trees? Like, can we see good trees like at the edge
Yeah,
of the?
yeah.
Okay, it's just like a small area.
It's like,
here.
yeah, maybe 40 feet out.
40 feet out. Okay, so it makes me think that like there's something that may be spewing this poison that's could be a decent size. You know
Really
what?
close, ironically close to us.
I want to do something that I've never. I feel like I've maybe only done once before, which is I'm going to use the ability of my my green dragon scale armor to detect green dragons within 30 miles. I can magically discern the distance and direction of the closest green dragon.
You do not detect any green dragons.
Oh shucks.
Cross that one off the maybe list.
All right, guys. I don't think it's a green dragon.
Well, and Meta didn't detect any good or evil or something like that,
It
right?
just seems like a big patch of poison that just spawned in the middle of the forest.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go. I don't want to go big. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna, I'm gonna go crow. I'm gonna shapeshift into a crow.
Okay.
And fly out of this cave. And look.
Buddy's gonna come with you, and I'm going to put my eyeballs in the back of my head, and you be two corvids of flying along.
Nice.
All right. You and Buddy fly out of the cave, and you can see that there is this fine sheen of this liquid on the rocks and on the trees, and it's turned the snow into this orangish slush. Give me perception checks.
Okay. $17.
17.
Nine.
9. Okay. So two things, Feldspar. You can see that there are some rocks that look like they have been freshly dislodged and fallen down the side of the mountain. You can see the clean breaks on them. They also have, this dampness, this orange liquid on them, but you can see the ruts that was kind of dug from the side of the mountain into the snow as these things clattered down. You also notice that there is a little bit of dripping here and there coming from the tree branches. So you and Buddy need to make dexterity checks to like avoid getting dripped on, but you're going to be able to make them at advantage.
Okay.
Buddy will not make that dexterity check at advantage. We'll say it's a dexterity saving throw.
I rolled 2 11s, which is a 12.
17.
Okay.
Dang it, buddy.
So yeah, wasn't an exceptionally hard dexterity saving throw. You managed to avoid, flying under the branches that are dripping and proceed your way up the mountainside. Getting to a space maybe 70 or 80 feet above the cave. You see the origin of where the rocks were dislodged, and there is a landing that's maybe 20, 25 feet in diameter. Give me a nature check.
We'll do that. This one. 15.
Rip, do you have nature?
No, not really. Buddy doesn't.
Okay. So looking at this space, Feldspar, you have a little bit of a cognitive dissonance for a moment because you're look at the space and you're like, oh, those are like bird claw prints. But then you're like, but that's so like, and you fly closer just to kind of gauge because you're small and your depth perception, like your sense of size is a little bit off. So you see the talon marks and you're like, oh, okay, so that's bird. So like then this clearing's small, but then you fly closer and you realize it's big. And flying a little further out and kind of scanning the area, you see that there's a sort of wide but narrow oblong patch that has what looks like this liquid dripped onto it. And it's probably about 30, 40 feet across, but like 120, 130 feet long. And in this, sort of kind of like a narrowed eye shape with that clearing that's basically dead center. And putting all this together, you think that a very, very large bird landed there and this poison was dripping off of its wings. So you've heard of rocks.
Yeah. Okay.
You think that, and generally speaking, they don't drip poison, but some demons do.
We already have experienced some weird creatures in this world.
That's really scary.
I can't, there's not the way to communicate with the compass thing, isn't it, in there?
As a crow, you can speak. Buddy can speak.
I can speak to Buddy, and then Buddy.
No, I mean you can speak.
Oh.
Crows can speak.
Oh.
So are they beyond 100 feet?
No.
Because
I mean, Buddy's not. Feldspar flew up a little bit higher to kind of get a full view of this situation.
I'm looking through Buddy's eyes though, so if Feldspar can speak as a crow to Buddy, I will hear it and understand.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna tell Buddy. Poison rock nest. I don't know. Make it simple for Buddy.
Well, Buddy's not relaying this information. Rip is just hearing it through his ears. Buddy doesn't have to give a lecture later.
Gotcha. Okay. Good. Well, yeah, I'm gonna share this with Buddy. So that
Of course,
he
you are
can-
speaking in a crow's voice, so it sounds like very. It's not the normal smooth dulcet tones of Feldspar.
Caw, caw! There's a poison rock here. What? The rocks are poison?
Yeah, no duh. Saoirse already said that.
Well, maybe we should fly off before they, or wind walk before he decides to come back.
Yeah, I mean, just before, while I'm up here, I'm just gonna, look around, like, it's not like I see a big bird flying around,
Give me a perception check. Perception check. Okay.
Huh.
10. Oh,
Nope. Okay, yeah, we should maybe not hang out because this would be a pretty big bird nest. So, I'm gonna,
judging by the marks of the creature's legs and its wingspan, you're pretty sure it would probably feed on the mammoths.
gotcha. Cool. Yes, I'm gonna fly back down and, give Buddy the wink as I go. Tag along. Um,
Are you
and,
gonna? Were
break
you?
my wild shape. Let the crew know. Y'all, there's like a really big freaking nest up there.
All right. Well then let's get going.
Reckon so.
I think I just heard it.
All right. So you guys do another day of travel. You still haven't Saoirse lead the way? Okay, I'm not gonna ask for another survival check. Just keep on moving. I will ask for a survival check about finding a place to camp for the evening. This is going to be the third night.
So Saoirse, just to be clear, you have advantage on survival checks.
No, I have reliable talent, which means I can't roll lower than a 10, and it's a +6. So
Okay. Cause so that's for the reliable talent. That's pretty sweet. Cause I have a +9. I just want everybody to know that I have a better survival than Saoirse. It's just that I don't have reliable
Let
talents.
it be known.
I rolled a 20.
You're just unreliable, Feldspar.
Mhm.
You rolled a what?
22.
22. Okay. You find a not so much a cave, but there is an overhang between, sort of like a crack in a stone where looked like it was cut through by an old creek or something, but either it's frozen up or dried up. There's no more water running through here anymore. But there is a dry place under the lee of a stone. It's not a cave, but it is a secluded patch where the group of you can rest.
So, okay, we land and undo our wind shapes. Are we on a ledge on the side of a mountain right now?
You're a little further down, closer to the bottom of the valley this time.
Is there like a decent tree? Like how do we have shelter from the skies? I'm thinking about a giant demon bird right now.
I mean, there's it's kind of like a like a large rock face with an overhang that overhangs maybe 20 or 30 feet.
Okay.
So like it tucks in, it's not a cave, it's not a hole that goes in. It's
Gotcha.
more just like, the rock leans over the space and there's no snow there. Then there's another large rock that kind of runs alongside.
Okay, all right.
So
Neat.
it's not a complete ceiling. It's kind of a, I don't know. It's more of an open space, but it's not completely exposed.
So, well, after Metaphor was asking me about stone stuff the other day, while I was sleeping, I switched one of my spell slots to equip Wall of Stone. So I can kind of like, I can kind of like give us a perimeter here. And as long as I concentrate on it for 10 minutes, then it becomes a permanent structure. Otherwise, it would like dissolve into magic rainbow smoke. Should I do it? Should I make a wall, guys?
Yep, why not?
Do it.
Is
I
the
do,
wall
okay.
gonna read who you gonna call Feldspar and the Aimless?
Feldspar's wall.
Shucks, I'm gonna skywrite real quick.
Uh-oh, wait, what?
No, absolutely don't do that. Like
Like, don't call attention to it.
Okay.
we're in the middle of a force that wants to kill us.
I have the 10 words written down.
Demon food here.
Oh boy. All right. So I don't do the skywrite. But 10 foot by 10 foot panels, or 10 foot by 20 foot panels. How high is the ledge, like overhang? Like,
So you're level 16, right? How many panels do you have?
so let's see here.
Or does it does it matter what your level is? Or?
It doesn't seem to matter. I get 10 foot by 10 foot panels that are 6 inches thick. Or 10 foot by 20 foot panels that are 3 inches thick. I'm gonna do the 6-inch thick one. I get 10 panels that are 10 by 10.
Okay, I mean, with that, you can enclose this overhang pretty significantly to the point where there's only about a 10 by 8 foot opening. And otherwise, yeah, the space that you leave inside is maybe 150% the size of Lehman's tiny hut.
Gotcha.
Is that what you're looking for?
130% the size, is that what you said?
150.
150? Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Sweet. Each panel has AC 15 and 30 hit points. Hey guys, look at this awesome wall I made. I'm Feldspar.
You sound like you're on an episode of Rick and Morty.
I'm also going to cat stone shape and make a little action figure for meta. It's not opposable, but it's like a little miniature version of meta. And it's
look at that.
And it's got a little tiny sword.
Have you done this before?
I don't think I
Did little fetishes with me?
This is my new thing, Daddy.
I saw how you were winking at Buddy earlier. I didn't say anything because we were by a scary situation, but that was I mean, are you gonna
You literally didn't see him wink at Buddy above the cave outside.
whatever.
Well, Buddy and I have been spending a lot of time together.
You're becoming quite familiar with each other. But Tish.
Yes.
All right, I'll take first watch this time.
Good.
I'll take a different watch.
Yeah, because it's a familiar.
I get it. Everyone got it.
All right, yeah, so the wall's done, and you know, yeah.
Okay.
And we can build a fire and camp out.
Okay, are you doing any other preparations for the evening?
This
We're
is,
getting tiny
we
hut.
are now one night away from a full moon.
We should probably do tiny hut as well. Yeah.
Rip, you gonna do that?
I just did. You missed
okay.
it.
I
Sorry.
did the hand motions.
Fair enough. So you're gonna do the tiny hut inside Feldspar's cave?
Yes. Just to be extra safe.
All right. Okay. So you guys bed down. Who's on the first
I can
Watch.
take watch. Saoirse doesn't want to take watch with me.
I'll take watch with you.
Oh,
okay. So Meta and Rip. Not gonna make you do perception checks because as the rest of the party beds down and as you set to your watch, maybe 30-40 minutes in, you hear this like screeching noise, like dozens of tiny little howling screams, and the sound of the screaming gets closer and closer, and it's loud enough it wakes everybody up. There's just no way around it. It is just this constant cacophony of like high-pitched screams, dozens and dozens of them. And as they get louder and louder, you all are awake to see through the hut on the outside dozens, if not hundreds, of little glowing red eyes
Oh my god.
appear at the mouth of the cave and start shuffling inside. As they get close enough that the light from the fire in the tiny hut illuminates them, hundreds of glowing red-eyed squirrels with jagged protrusions sticking out of their backs and 2 rows of spines, elongated claws, fangs instead of buck teeth, and they just scream as they crawl up on the outside of the tiny hut and swarm around the outside of your little protective enclosure. Apparently unable to get in, but definitely able to scream.
Good call on the tiny hut.
Yeah, is this tiny hut strong enough to withhold these
Yeah, it is.
poor creatures twisted by dark arts?
Bummer.
But what are we gonna do?
are we gonna be able to sleep like
plug
this?
plug your ears and try to take a nap, or
Yeah, I mean, does anybody have any like? Do you still have that antipathy spell?
ooh.
I don't
Wait,
have
but
it.
it can't go through the walls of the tiny hut.
Oh yeah. Well, he could just sleep outside in that case.
I don't have the spell currently equipped. I can turn us all into animals.
Don't do that.
Yeah. I wish I I don't have any, not that these
I'll
guys.
also,
seem like-
I'll also say that like you guys cannot have this conversation normally because of the screaming.
Mm.
So you're pretty much
Like
all
yelling.
using the compasses to whisper directly
Oh.
into each other's heads
Gotcha.
because the screaming is just too loud for conversation.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Ooh.
Like,
Okay. You cast Speak with Animals, and immediately you just hear this cacophony of hundreds of little voices screaming, meat! Meat!
Uh, can you quiet down?
That only seems to excite them, and they scream louder, more fervently.
They just want meat. Do we have some rations or something?
Like meat is us, dude. We're soiling.
I know, but maybe they'll eat other meat.
How
I
long is
think
the
maybe we
tiny?
need to like we gotta get out of here. Like
I have two thoughts. One is I can cast. I have Windwalk slotted, so I could cast it again, and we could zip out of your you know, we could turn into things while we're still in the hut and then fly out. How long does the hut last for? Like
well, I mean, it can last up to 8 hours, but I'm pretty sure
It will cease to exist as soon as you leave it.
Gotcha. Because I mean, I guess there's no part of me is wondering if we can wait them out, but I guess we can't get any rest with these creatures hanging around here.
yeah,
yeah. I mean, I can stop the spell, you know, but we
I
have to
mean-
be like ready to jam.
You know, these are, you know, they're just like poor little squirrels that have been twisted by the dark forces of this forest. Maybe we just cook them, right? You know? I bet we could do some quick work on these uh satanic critters.
Okay, if you want to try to one-shot them, I'll just put my armor on and I'll run out there and I'll just get a safe distance away and you can shoot me with a fireball.
Why would he have to shoot you?
They're gonna swarm to me as soon as I exit the tent.
How
They're
does
gonna
what how
swarm
does
to all
dimension
of us,
door
aren't they? Because
I
they
mean, the tiny hut could withstand a fireball from the outside, right?
Yeah,
No.
but what we can't shoot fireball.
I
From
mean, a
Means-
fireball is not going to break the tiny hut, but it's not going to stop the fireball either.
and you
It
can't
won't-
can you cast something from in the hut out of it?
No.
Like
no,
so you
can't.
still you have to step out of it to cast a
Like-
spell.
yeah, like we have to leave the tiny hut to do any magic externally. I don't think anybody could even misty step outside of the tiny hut.
Like from inside.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I have the cloak that gives me dimension door from the
Oh wait, hold on.
eye
Through it. The wording is kind of weird because through it, does that mean in it or through the walls, right? There's some verbiage on the spell that says,
Okay, yeah, spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it.
so we have to be outside to cast.
yeah.
Why don't
But
I
we-
just distract them and then you can hit them with something.
Well, I mean, I'll just have to drop tiny hut and we'll all be like,
Well, someone else can go out, or we can go out and fight it as long as you stay in tiny hut. Other
Yeah.
people can come in and out, I think.
so you
Yeah.
can move through that's what I was wondering about the verbiage, right? Because it
Yeah.
says through it, so you can go out and come back in.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the person
everyone can
has-
go out and come back
has
in
to
at their
stay.
leisure, except for Rip.
Except
If
for
she
Rip.
leaves, it's gone.
All right, I'll go out there and I'll put my armor on.
What?
Well, so what's
Wait.
the plan? You go out there, you put your armor on, and then
I'm
I
gonna
drop
just
tiny
charge
hut
through and they're
we'll
gonna
all-
chase me.
Yeah.
And then someone's got an AoE, right? You've got that flame strike feldspar or whatever.
I have Firestorm,
Yeah.
which is a very large area thing, but also I just feel like, if they were attracted to us here, I don't know that they're all, that I just feel like that we're assuming they're all gonna follow you
Well, if
out.
they don't all follow me, then we'll figure something else out. But it's worth a shot.
Amy rolled a natural 20 on her intelligence check, and he said, "Hey," she says, "Hey, Meta. So like, if they cast Fireball on you, it won't hurt that bad, right? Because
Yeah.
you're. And what have we learned about demons?
They're fire resistant
Oh.
They've taken no damage from fire
or
so far.
fireproof.
Yeah, that's a good
Well, do you
point.
got other stuff? Y'all are always
That's
casting
what I've been
better
thinking.
spells. You got anything else?
Yeah,
I've got
I mean,
Ice Storm.
I
Boy,
can
I should've
cast,
remembered that
I
last
can,
time.
I can do fireball, but change it to radiant damage, but would that mess you up real bad?
But you
Oh, I
can't
have
cast
Ice
anything.
Storm. I have Ice Storm learned.
You can't cast anything, Rip, because you have to stay in
Oh,
the
yeah, because I'm staying in the hut.
Yeah, I also have Ice Storm equipped. After this long rest, I gotta remember the remove
I've got
back.
Ice Storm too.
You do you?
Yeah. I think we're good. Let's just try it out.
Look, if we end up going like through everybody having a turn and it's not looking good, then I might drop the hut.
Okay.
If I need to do spells.
All right, I'm gonna cast Armor of Agathis on myself at 3rd level.
Okay.
So are
Oh.
we remind me, the hut's inside of, it's not exactly
inside
a
the
cave. It is a cave. And how tall is the
It's
ceiling?
a cave now that he's made it into.
I made it into a cave.
Okay, and
Then
they're in the cave though with us now.
Yeah, because there was like I couldn't conceal it completely.
How high is the ceiling?
There's a passage. I 20. It's like 20 feet high. 20
It's
feet.
like 10 by 8,
Oh, 10 foot high
10 feet wide.
by 8 feet high.
then I'm
Okay.
gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
You want to haste me, Sersha?
Yeah, I'll haste you.
All right, Sersha casts haste on me.
Well, are you gonna do this alone or are we?
We're gonna see how they react,
Okay, to you first.
and then with my armor on, I will charge out of the hut. I'll try to get like 30 feet away.
Okay. All right. So you cast Armor of Agathis. You get haste cast on you. You cast Shield of Faith.
And Amy has her ring, right?
Yes.
Which has fly in it. And haste?
Hey,
Okay,
And the Shield of Faith is +2 armor class, right?
That's right, yeah.
So Meta, you charge out of the hut, and immediately they all swarm you. Let's have everyone else roll initiative.
Everyone else, you don't want me to?
I mean, you're doing something and they are immediately going after you. Everyone else is reacting to that.
Okay.
So you and these, you are at 30 initiative and the scrolls are at 29 initiative.
Saoirse rolled a 47.
I got a 15.
Okay, anyone else above 15?
I got a 16.
Oh boy.
Dope. I have a 19.
You have a 19.
Amy had. There's an A here. She has advantage on initiative. Is that a thing? Does she?
I think only when she's raging.
Oh, because I'm looking at this is like a slice of the last time, so she probably had rage on or something. Okay, so
Which doesn't make sense. No reason why you're raging.
why you would rage before you take initiative?
Yeah.
Well, Amy has a 5.
Just check to see if there's. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that would give her advantage on initiative. I mean, I think she has advantage on dexterity saving throws when she's raging. From things she can see. Oh no, feral instinct. Your instincts are so honed that you have advantage on initiative rolls. So yeah, she does have
Oh,
advantage.
I'll roll it one more time. And that's a 15 for her.
Okay. Octavia,
6.
6. Okay. All right. So Meta, you charge out. You're immediately swarmed. You have Armor of Agathis up. So you have 5 temporary hit points, and creatures attack you.
Well,
Five
I
points of
got it
golden.
at third level, so
Right, so that's 15.
hold on. I forgot that's a feature, so I can only cast it at. I think I cast it at second level as a Levistus Paladin, so it's 10 and it deals 10.
Okay, so 2 squirrel sickles pop off of you immediately.
Okay.
Like as soon as the swarm hits you, 2 of them immediately get frozen by 5 points of damage. And are you doing anything else?
Just trying to distance myself from the hut.
Okay. So you run 30 feet away from the hut or further?
I'll run I guess I'll dash and run 45 feet away.
Okay. You're on 45 feet away from the hut. While you're doing this, the squirrels are on top of you. They are getting inside your armor, some of them rolling around, crawling all over the surface of you, biting, gnawing, and snapping. And actually, you don't need to dash because you're hasted.
Oh yeah, right.
And so basically, all 120 are swarming you. 20 of them get inside your armor. So they're attacking you at what's your main dexterity doesn't really matter in this case, so it's just going to be field of faith plus 2.
Shield of play, so that would be
12.
it's base 10, right? So it's 14.
Isn't shield of faith plus 2?
Shield face plus 2, haste is plus 2.
Yeah, but that's like you can't dodge out of the way of it.
Okay.
I'm just counting things that actually make you harder to physically bite.
Okay.
Haste is more of like getting out of the way of an attack.
Okay. Yeah, so 12.
All right. So out of the 20 that get inside your armor, only 10 of them are going to be able to hit you. And out of the 100 that are swarming around on the outside, they all need natural 20s to hit. But they're all flanking. So 10 of them manage to hit you. So you get attacked by 20 demonic squirrels.
Dumb plan.
Maybe not my finest moment. I can always misty step back to the hut.
Not into it.
No, but next to it. As long as I'm not dead.
Came out with you. I have been dealing with.
All right. All right. So you take 26 points of bite damage. They're all 1d2 points of damage for biting.
Okay. At least I don't know how you want to handle this. I would get the Armor of Agathis effect for 10 of those hit points.
I think this was
I mean, you only get the Armor of Agathis effect for 2 attacks.
No, it's for the amount of it's while I have the hit points.
Right, but the first 2 attacks, each one does 5 points of ice damage to those 2 squirrels, and then the spell effect ends.
Oh. It's just if a creature hits me with a melee attack while I have the bonus hit points. They take 10 cold damage.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought it was every, yeah, okay. All right, so well, that was the physical damage. They're all also dealing 1d6 points of fire damage.
Okay, that'll be halved.
Yeah. And that is a total of 70 points of fire damage.
Okay, halved to 35.
So that's half to 35. So man, I guess yeah, we can make it simple. That's what's it? 26 points of bite and then 35 points of fire, and you subtract 10 from that.
Yep. So yeah.
Okay. All right. It is not a pleasant experience.
That doesn't sound fun.
And we'll say that that turns into 3 squirrels get destroyed. Because they're averaging like 3.5 points of damage on their attacks. All right, so that's meta. That's the squirrels. Feldspar.
Boy, the armor of Agathis does not give you protection from ice. It doesn't do that.
No, don't worry. I have ways of protecting against that too.
You have protection from ice?
I can, yeah, I can use my reaction to, have my to get cold resistance.
So are there still squirrels trying to get into the hut? Like, or did they all chase after?
No, they're all chasing after meat.
They're all chasing after the meat.
They're chasing after meat of 4.
Well, gosh darn.
Make up for.
Okay. All right, well, shucks, you know what? You guys don't get to see Feldspar, the awesome elemental druid, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna step out of the dimension of the hut. And I'm going to cast Ice Storm, which is a 20-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder of a point within 300 feet. And I'm casting it at the highest level I can. I'm gonna cast it at 8th level.
Okay.
I hope you're okay, bud. You said you're okay.
I have spell damage, so it's fine.
So it's 68 bludgeoning damage and 4d6 cold damage. And then it's dexterity saving throws. So you'll have to make one of those, bud.
What was
It
it?
was 14.
I rolled a 17. I don't know if I want to save because there's squirrels inside me.
Are they inside of you?
They're inside me.
14.
I mean, you don't have to if you want to just like soak it. You can.
I mean,
try
I don't think
not to
17
avoid
will
the
pass
damage.
anyway. So, but yeah, I won't try to save because there's a bunch of squirrels on me. I want them to stay in the spell's effect.
So that's 31 bludgeoning damage, and then I rolled really well. 18 cold damage.
So the cold damage will be halved to 9. And you said 31 bludgeoning?
Yeah, 31 bludgeoning.
31 plus 9, and then I half all of that damage. So it's 106. Sorry, or I'm sorry, it's 20 points of damage to me, so I'm at 116.
It's a dex of a 17 for the saving throw.
At how much with the cold damage was it 18?
Cold damage is 18, and the bludgeoning is 31.
All right, so all the squirrels on the outside of Metaphor, even if they make their save, the 15 points of bludgeoning damage, just Meta, you are just coated with this vile, smashed, viscera of hundreds of squirrels that have been bludgeoned by the ice storm that's pelted you. Those inside your armor didn't really have the room to reflex save out of the cold. So they all took the full 18 points of cold damage and are frozen inside. And and all of the viscera and stuff that was bludgeoned and beaten on the outside also has just like frosted and caked. And you are just head to toe covered in frozen demonic squirrel guts inside your armor too.
Oh my god. Are we out of initiative?
Yeah, they're all gone.
Okay, I'm gonna take my armor off magically
It's gonna throw
and
up.
just let it all just fall off. Oh my gosh.
Oh, buddy.
Ugh. It
I
worked.
mean, most of it, yeah. When you when you retract your armor, which takes some work because you got to like pull the bug gut, the scroll guts off of the amulet that you have to like tap to get the armor to retract back, you know, to send it away. And then instantly, like this shell of frozen squirrel guts just like drops off and crackles. Like it still falls on you. Some of it gets inside your clothes. And the thing is, like some of the squirrels that were inside your armor, they were crushed by your armor, and like so you're not. It's not a perfect solution. You still have some like really foul. It's not the full coating that you had on the outside of your armor. But I mean, there's like the space that your helmet doesn't cover, so like your eyes and your mouth is that still has the frozen stuff stuck to it. And then there's like spots and blotches on your clothes that still
Oh my
have
god,
this.
please clean me. Does anybody have something?
I have prestidigitation.
Can you prestidigitate dead squirrel guts off of me?
It's a very slow process, but yes, I can.
I'll come over and I'll give you a pat on the shoulder and say, really great job out there, Meta, and I'll cast Cure Wounds. And you know, just for the heck of it, 3d8. 3d8 plus 4, which is not a lot. So 12 hit points. You did real great out there as a lure, bud. It's a good thing, you got such a powerful druid here to lead your team into glory.
Thanks, Feldspar. And I'll just touch myself and heal myself for 60 points. So you did great.
I did great, didn't I? Didn't I? I feel like
did.
whew,
You
I'm gonna
did.
You
just
touch
brush
yourself
off
to
my
heal yourself for 60 points, and it doesn't work.
Oh, I don't heal myself?
Instead, you hear in your ear, party foul, dude.
What? What do you mean party foul?
Heard
Wait.
what you said, man.
About,
Not,
what did I say?
not cool.
What, the whole blasphemy thing? This is the best time, to be honest. I kind of covered in squirrel guts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I mean, you did just burp and laugh when I was lost at sea. That wasn't a lie or anything.
Don't hear anything else.
I
Did
wish
I
they gave
still
you
heal myself?
spells. Sorry.
Ugh. I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'll pray for forgiveness and cleanliness.
I wish they gave you spells to chant on these spells, on the spell descriptions. I want to I want to have a poem.
Make one up.
I know, I'm just not creative enough. What rhymes with ice?
Mice, ice. There's a lot of things around.
Slice and dice, ice storm. Mhm.
Alrighty.
Ooh, Amy, did you see how cool I was? Yeah, bud, you were. Yeah, you were really cool.
No role playing for characters who aren't here.
Okay.
All right. So you guys rest for the remainder of the night. No more roving bands of demonic piranha squirrels. Because this is 5th edition D&D. 8 hours of sleep heals all wounds. For some fucking reason. And you set out for your 4th day of travel.
Do I need to roll survival?
Yes, please.
I got a natural 20.
Okay.
Ooh. Don't forget, we all get 13 temporary hit points from Octavia.
Yeah.
So on the 4th day, you make it to the coast. Consulting with Meta upon landing, Saoirse, you're fairly certain you've got to head south from here to get to Larkos.
Okay. Do I need to roll something or can we just
I mean, no, this is the end of the 4th day.
Okay.
Wait, no, this is the third day.
It's the 3rd day after the 1st day,
Oh, okay.
which is the 4th day of travel.
Tonight there's a full moon.
Yes.
Okay, that's all. I just want to make sure I didn't miss it. I was all too busy living in the glory of my ice storm. I don't want to forget about the full moon. All right, we're good. Sorry. Continue with your role playing.
You're still gonna have to make a survival check to find mistletoe.
I got that.
All right. So, at this point, being on the coast, knowing that the demonic infestation is pretty much relegated to the darkened west, to that deep forest. The coast, in comparison, feels fairly safe. So you find yourselves a nice place to camp for the evening,
Yeah.
and you prepare to rest. Except for Feldspar, who waits for the moon to rise and then goes looking for mistletoe.
Yes,
Give me a survival check.
I will. Come
You
on.
gotta get it. I'm gonna say you gotta get it at least a 17 to find mistletoe.
I want to use my inspiration. Come on. Yes, I got a 19 plus 9, so that's 28.
Okay.
As I go walking, is it snowing here still? It was snowing though some of the forest.
On the coast, it's a little bit warmer, so there's no snow here. However, since it is, late winter, you have the luck of being able to more easily spot the clumps of mistletoe in the trees. Mistletoe is a parasitic plant that lives on other trees. And when you find an adequate batch of mistletoe, I'm gonna say roll a d6, and that's how many sprigs of mistletoe you find that would be that would qualify for the reagent of the spell.
I'm just imagining like walking, through like the frosty woods, and my breath is visible and the moon is out. It's like so magical. I lay hands on this tree as I get ready to find out how much mistletoe I'm gonna get off of the thing. 4.
4. Okay. Better than half.
Yes. I give it a little kiss under the mistletoe. Just a gentle one.
Okay. All right.
Can I that evening can I pray to Damus? I'm gonna say, Damus, I'm sorry for what I said. you know, we're heading back to Larcos, so now's like a difficult time, and I'm been under a lot of stress. So I'm sorry, and it's not a good time for us to be at odds with each other. And also, do you know Artemis? Thanks. Bye. This is metaphor, by the way. Bye.
Uh, you're fairly certain you're going to have to make a significant offering. You know, words are not the apology for Damus.
Um, I've got some lusty guzzler. Uh, uh, what do I do? Just like dump it on the ground? That doesn't seem right. Uh, I'll pop open a bottle of lusty guzzler next to me and like scoot it over a little, like to show that it's not for me, it's for Damus. And then I'll pray.
Um, you pray and you focus on your prayer. And after, you know, a minute or so, you hear, you know, a glugging noise next to you. You look up and turn to your side, and Alexis is sitting there just chugging the hell out of that lusty guzzler.
It's pretty good, right?
She just holds up her hand like this.
Eh.
Uh, she pounds the remainder of the bottle, stands up, wipes off her mouth, looks at you and says, "Fucking putz," and then walks off into the woods.
What's a putz? Do I know what putz means? Uh,
Apparently not.
putz. It sounds like in context that's an insult. Um. All right. Well, maybe the alcohol wasn't good enough. I'll pull out a bottle of Dragon's Demise. I'll open that and I'll do the same thing.
Um, so you pray again, and a few minutes later, you hear someone standing next to you say, "Hey!" And you look over, and Alexis is standing there with the bottle of Dragon's Demise, and she says, "You were good."
Oh,
But and then she walks away with the bottle of
okay.
Dragon's
Yeah, enjoy it. It was kind of hard to tell what you meant, but oh. Well, I guess I'll go to bed then. Having resolved nothing.
She as you get up and start walking the opposite direction back to where everyone else is camped out, she calls from behind you. "You won't get off this easy next time."
Okay.
And
Yeah, I'll have a nicer bottle around for the next time. Oh. All right, I'll try to heal myself for 5 hit points.
You don't have any damage.
Well, let's see. What else can I do as a paladin? I'll try to oh, do I have my auras and stuff? Do I feel all paladin-y again?
I don't know, do you? Give me a perception check, I guess. I mean, how are you supposed to know if your saving throws are bolstered unless you're in some kind of danger?
I mean, that's a great question. I rolled a 17.
I mean, it's kind of chilly. It's dark.
Okay.
You're not currently being affected by spells. You don't know if you feel like there's a magical aura of protection against them.
Is there a tree nearby?
Yes.
I'll try to smite the tree.
Okay. What level?
Not the one that Feldspark kissed. If I know which one that is.
But what level are you smiting?
I'll smite at first level.
You attack a tree with your sword. Are you using the holy sword or you using?
Sure, yeah, I'll use the Holy Avenger.
Okay. You swing the sword into the tree. It sinks in a little bit, and you see like a spark of light.
Hey, that looks kind of like a divine smite. Take a swig of wine. I'll just try something else. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. I'll try other stuff later. I gotta get to bed.
Okay.
I'll start heading to camp.
You guys rest in a small encampment just off the beach. And I'm not going to go through anything tonight because there is nothing that is going to attack you. So you all do a watch rotation. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary or of concern. And in the morning, you are rested and ready for another day of travel and adventure.
We're still like a day's removed from Marcos.
Between Meta and Sersha, you're figuring that it's going to be between half a day and a full day of travel to get to Larcos. Larcos isn't right on the coast. It's maybe 10, 20 miles inland, nestled in a valley along a river. So you got to look for the mouth of the river, and then you can follow that up to the town. There are some small farm fields on the way up. And then there's, dotted areas of wilderness cabins, a lot of the surrounding areas peopled by hunters and trappers and foragers. But that's pretty much what you're looking for.
We try to stop in an outer farm or something and get information.
That's probably a good idea. Let's find the river first.
Okay.
I'll cast Windwalk.
And do you want to be disguised right now or not yet?
Well, maybe when we get to the river.
Okay.
Okay. Meta, roll a d4.
A 4.
4. Okay. So it does take you the full 8 hours of wind walk to you find the mouth of the river, and then you start following it up, and pretty much as soon as you start to see the cleared patches in the woods that are the farms, you can feel the magic of the wind walk fading.
All right, I'll touch down, at the edge of the woods.
All
Are
right.
we too close to like disguising ourselves or anything?
I think probably at this point we should consider disguises, yeah.
I mean, so considering the view you had while wind walking and where you landed just outside the skirting farmlands, you probably have like at least 15-minute walk to the nearest farm, but to get to the actual town, you're probably talking about an hour and a half hike.
I'd say we should go ahead and disguise ourselves.
It will last for 8 hours, so
I want to look like a long blonde haired human knight.
Okay.
How many people can you disguise?
all of
Everybody.
us.
And it's 8 hours long? Okay, all right, I'll let you disguise me.
So
I
we're
have
all
to feel
going
this.
as humans now, right? Is that what we're doing? Just
And I'm already a human, so I don't know that I need a disguise.
yeah.
I look like Octavia, but I'm not that.
My twinsy, my twin brother.
Okay. What do you look like, Rip?
I'm just like the little kid that's like, hey.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
My daughter, my daughter.
So she looks like Octavia, but shorter.
There's like 3 Octavias looking people. I like
Yeah.
this.
I think Amy's just gonna go for looking like Amy, but not purple, without horns. I think that's one of her usual versions.
They're having fun up there. Oh,
Boy, I just have been like, fantasizing about, how cool it was to go walking in the woods at night in the full moon looking for mistletoe. It's pretty cool.
my night wasn't as good as yours.
When's the next full moon in real
Did you
life?
find you were looking for?
I did. I got four sprigs of mistletoe.
And what will that do for you?
It's gonna let me do that Druid Grove thing 4 more times, because I have to use a sprig every time I do it. And we retconned that I had a sprig last time. So, every time I do that, I get to have 4 treants, like, so 4 animated trees. And then I also am able to create, I just did the fog that first time, but I can do a mixture of fog and, like, terrain, like I can make grass kind of come to life and make it difficult terrain.
Cool.
And I also can have, one, like, trap, like, a spike growth or something. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, and I think it might be a useful thing in the future if we feel like we're camping out somewhere where things could get risky, or
Yeah.
even not, like I can cast it and turn any battle ground into this kind of thing. And it doesn't require concentration, right? So that's what I'm starting to run into, it's been my ongoing problem is that most of my spells are concentration spells.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all have human disguises. And you start venturing up the slow slope through the woods towards Larkos.
Mhm.
You approach the first farm. And you see that it is barren because it is late winter. Nothing has been planted, nothing is growing at the current moment.
So there's smoke coming out of the chimney though?
There is
Okay.
of a small farm cottage.
Well, I suppose we can go knock on the door. I'll walk up to the farmhouse and I'll knock on the door.
You knock on the door and you hear from behind the door, shh, shh, go, go, go. And the door opens and a weary looking man in his mid to late 40s opens the door as he pulls a coat onto his shoulders and looks at the group of you and says, "Oh, I was concerned you might be someone else. Travelers. I don't recognize you. You're not from town, are you?"
No, we're not. Were you expecting somebody?
No, no, but don't get many visitors out here.
Well, yeah,
What can I do for you?
um we'd heard about an order of paladins in the area, and we were sort of trying to find them.
Oh, if you go into town, it'll be hard to miss them.
Well,
They run the place.
Just
I would I would urge against it though.
what makes you say that?
If you go into town, you will not be allowed to leave.
You'll not be what?
Allowed to leave.
Why is that? It's a town just like any other, right?
The Everyone is required to help in the defense effort.
What are what are they defending from?
The fell creatures coming from the woods.
Yeah, we saw.
Did you arrive from the sea? You obviously don't know what's going on around here.
Well, we're just further down the coast a ways. Not really privy to this area.
I would suggest you continue down the coast and avoid this place.
Well, I mean, you say they're defending against the creatures. They're doing some good then.
Perhaps, but if you still have your freedom, then I suggest you seek safety someplace that won't steal it from you.
Okay. Thanks for the information, and I'll hand him a gold piece.
He looks at it and thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck. I
Nice.
seriously suggest you don't go into Larcos.
And we'll keep that in mind. Uh, I guess as we're leaving, I'll like turn to the rest of the group. Sounds like if we show up there that they might try to force us into military servitude.
Hmm.
You know, Meta, these folks, they like, were tough when you were, like level 1, but I mean we're like, we're adventurers now, bud. Maybe we just need to storm this town and
Well,
slay all the raiders.
well, they're not raiders. Well, there's a lot of innocent townsfolk there, and there's a lot of good people that think they're fighting for the righteous cause. And it sounds like they're trying to defend the area from those beasts that we ran into. And if they're actually holding them back, then they're quite formidable.
I'm just wondering if maybe if we if we don't try to hide our badassery, if we can we're not gonna let these people can't walk all over us, I don't
Would
know.
would somebody want to do some like secret reconnaissance into town? Like be like we could polymorph somebody or something like that, and they could like kind of pop into town and do a little bit of observation or something.
I could animal shape us all into robins, even.
That
Except we need
always
to talk to
works
people.
out well.
We can observe, but I do think we'll be better off talking to the people of the town.
Yeah, you know what? We put on these disguises. And we got them for 8 hours. Look at my sweet mustache.
Well, he just said that if we go into town, we might not be able to leave.
But can they keep us?
Scripted.
Look at my sweet mustache.
Even if they're weak, there's like 100 of them versus 6 of us.
If we get split up, then we'll be fucked.
They're probably not all concentrated in the town. There will probably be a significant number of them in town, but
Well, maybe we step off of the road, but we continue towards town a little bit. I mean, this was the first guy we chatted.
Yeah.
He obviously is doing something shisty. I mean, he's probably hiding non-humans, considering the bias that you were talking about earlier.
Are there like guard posts or anything that we might pass by or?
I guess I'm not sure. I guess we can keep heading towards town.
I could skywrite something.
Who are you gonna call? Dogs for on the Aimless.
That's right. Amen, sister. But I could also skywrite like, oh, there's a monster over in the woods. See if they take the bait.
What do y'all think? Do you want to head towards town?
Yes, I think we should head towards town. I just think like, all right, we'll step off the road so that we don't have to like run into some kind of guards or people, going around collecting their tithe or whatever. And
even if we run into people, it might add credibility to our story anyway. Like, it doesn't matter.
Well, I feel like Bennett didn't really get what is our story? We're a family of Octavius.
Circus performers. not
Yes,
like
circus performers.
We're circus
Like-
performers.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just kidding.
See my sweet mustache?
I'm like, if we're gonna pick
Maybe because
something
he's
that's
just
tied
wearing
directly to a
like-
skill on this sheet, actually, my performance isn't that bad.
Mine is.
You've got like all the skill proficiencies.
Not performance. I'm acrobatic though. I could do some trapeze.
Oh, there you go. Fine, we're a family of circus performers.
We're a family of people supporting one circus performer. The rest of us can't juggle, can't swallow knives, can't do fire tricks, can't do.
But you're not gonna ask us to make the kid do anything, so you're good, Rick.
I hope so.
Although they did try to murder. Well, I guess I wasn't a kid at that point. I was a little older. Anyway, well, I guess we'll head into the town
Yeah, let's walk. Let's walk farther.
if we see anything along the way.
I think there's a decision to make here. Oh, all right. You said we should just stay on the path. All right, let's do it. Let's walk. Let's just go a little farther. We'll see what happens. If these guys try to strong arm us, we're gonna best them. That's the bit. Nobody's taking Feldspar and the Aimless into slavery. No way.
Okay. Well, you guys leave the farm, head to what appears to be a wagon trail that leads up the mountain towards the town. Upon exiting the farm, you notice a wooden placard that's been attached to the fence, and it says Hannibal on it, and branded into the wood next to the name Hannibal is the same symbol that's branded into the back of your neck, Meta. Of course, the one on this sign is significantly larger.
And this is outside of the city. It's like a shack, you said.
It's when you're leaving the farm. There's a sign on the fence.
Hey, what's that sign about there, Meta?
I mean, I'm guessing that they've conscripted him in some way or something. That they're marking their territory.
Is that the symbol of the shining steel or the symbol of the steel shadow?
Well, it's the symbol of the god Vortha, who's the god of domination. I don't know because I only heard it from Dory. I thought it was the symbol of Relinox when I was young, or something like that. But this is a symbol of a god of conquest.
Cool. Okay.
So you make your way up the wagon trail. You pass a few more farms, and they have similar signposts outside the farm. Despite the fences and the specifics of the individual farms being different, all the signs seem to be crafted of the same design and make, and they all have that Iron Gauntlet brand next to what appears to be the name of the farmers. So one's Johansson, one is Sellen, and you come up towards the town, and you can see, Meta, that since you were here last, they have erected a palisade wall around the exterior of the town. And there does appear to be guards at the gate. From what you can tell at a distance, they're members of the Shining Steel.
Well, are we walking through the front door? Or are we gonna try to scout with? We're gonna send in Feldspar.
This is your thing.
Well, I'm asking for input.
It's up to you.
Well, I feel like if we walk up to the gate and say we're a family of circus performers, they're not gonna be too receptive to that.
Say it again, what the, how well, like, guarded the gate is.
Looks like there are 2 guards.
Can we say we're seeking refuge from the monsters?
Let's go in and just, like, if they trap us, that's fine. I feel like we could escape if we really wanted to, so let's just go in and say I don't know if circus is the right move, but maybe we could say we're travelers passing through, hoping to maybe catch a ship somewhere soon. I don't know.
Yeah. For
Well,
sure.
We're heading away from the coast, though. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
We're travelers passing through. We can be vague with it.
Yeah.
Where are we headed? Does anybody know towns along this route?
You?
No, I mean, yeah, probably.
I mean, maybe we're lost and we're trying to find a way to get back to regular civilization.
Well, Meta, you are kind of from this area. If there was like a bigger city nearby, you would know about it, right?
Do I know of a bigger city nearby?
I mean, you're pretty sure that the Wood Elves have a large civilization somewhere, but they are very reclusive and xenophobic. They kind of tolerate the humans having small settlements in their land. Larcoast really isn't bigger or smaller than the other 3 or 4 large settlements, and each one of them would probably be 6, 4, minimum of 4 to 6 hours distant from each other. They're not, this is not a densely populated area.
Shipwreck.
Uh,
Our ship capsized and we made
in
it
mind,
to
everyone.
shore.
keep in mind that they're paladins, and so they're gonna have zone of truth. So
Say we're from Ariston Securities and Protections Guild, and we're looking to see if they have a guild here to make connections. How about that?
What if we tell them that we're followers of Relinox? Just to like mind fuck them. The people who actually believe they're following Relinox will probably think we're cool.
well, I don't yeah. I'm wondering if maybe they realize now that they're not following Relinox. Or maybe they've never seen the symbol.
Well, that might be a way to distinguish between the people who know what's going on and are worshiping this other god versus those who believe that they're part of.
Well, should we just say we want to help with the defense effort?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yep. And we could be truthful and say we were going through the woods and we like freaked out. Because there are some nasty things.
I like what Octavia said about like, talking about us being part of the guild. But I also think just like, I think a shipwreck story is easy enough if we like feel like we need to, the guys at the front gate aren't gonna be like Zona truthing us,
I don't. They might.
Let's go, let's find out.
All right. I feel like who's the deceptive one? Are you deceptive? Or maybe, I mean, we're telling the truth that we're traveling through the woods.
I mean, I'm fairly deceptive.
I guess we're kind of telling the truth.
Is Octavia good at deception?
Your persuasion and I'm okay at deception.
Well, like, how did we tell them we were traveling through the woods? Because the woods, we'd have to have been traveling for 4 days to come from anywhere. Right?
No, the woods are nearby. They're defending the town against the demons in the woods.
Yeah, but like, to get into the woods from where?
Huh?
The woods, like, if we got into the woods, we would have had to get into them from somewhere if we were traveling through the woods.
There's got to be settlements in there somewhere, right? Or they're not.
I mean, we could say we were from a settlement that's been raised by followers of Lamash too.
I feel like irregardless, we start vague. And we're travelers looking for lodging, and we take it step by step there, until we
Okay.
reveal that you are their messiah, and we save this whole town.
That's not what I don't think that's what we're going for here.
Is that not the bit?
No, it's not a Jesus coming to save everybody.
But I thought that was your bit.
If that's my bit, that's only because that's what Artemis said.
Okay.
Oh,
Start vague, and then we'll fill the details in as we need to.
Do you want to do the talking, Octavia?
Me?
You're the best
Yeah,
talker.
I do need the name of a recent town we've been to though.
Kyle
Like-
was just recent, but that was a while ago.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Belden was the last place we went to.
No, I mean like pick a town,
Nearby.
the next town over or something.
Yeah, I just need a nearby town,
In case we have to pull a bigger
which is
detail.
kind of
Okay.
what,
Can I remember a nearby town, Dan?
I don't know, can you?
I don't know. What do I roll?
Intelligence?
Probably not then. Or I'll use my inspiration. That's worse. 0. A legit 0.
You lived in Larcos your entire life, you fled, you got on the first ship you could find and you left.
I do
You
have
don't
some
know any of the
maps.
nearby villages or towns.
I
What?
do have some maps. Would I have ever mapped the area?
alright, it's fine.
All right.
Really not.
I'll just name drop Belden or some
Yeah,
shit.
sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Very well equipped travelers.
Okay. Come on.
Well, you walk up.
Hello.
Walk up to the gates and one of the guards stands in front of the gate while the other one approaches you maybe 10 or 15 feet away from the gate. They're both carrying a shield and a sword on their hip, and on the shield is this clenched fist gauntlet image engraved. They are wearing breastplates and a tabard over top that is like an indigo with silver trim. And the one that approaches you is a woman. She comes up and she says, "What's your business in Larcos?"
Ah, yes, we require lodging for the night. We are a group of travelers hailing all the way from Belden, and we've been adventuring over these past few months and require a good night's stay and full bellies. What do you have here that might accommodate?
She looks at the group of you, looks over her shoulder, and calls out to the other guard, "Tamlin, you ever heard of Belden?" He looks back and shakes his head. Goes, "Toll to enter the city is 10 silver apiece. You can go to the Pa Lad Inn if you need lodging for the night. They should have a room or two free."
Thank you, kind sir. Let us pay you for your troubles.
She says,
Or sir, ma'am.
Madam.
Madame.
"I suggest you mind yourself in the city. Not all the guards are as charitable as me."
I see. Thank you for the advice. And then I'll say, Helga, gesturing to Meta. Helga, please pay our friend here.
Isn't Meta a man?
What?
So he's a
I'm
long.
a woman now. I said a
man.
long blonde haired
Hello?
man.
Helgo? Helgo.
Helgor.
Good deception
Oh, yeah.
check.
I'm having a hard time with gender, like.
Helgo. 10
She's
silver.
our friend. She's gender blind.
No,
Helga. So 10
And
silver
into
is
some
1
trouble,
gold.
I've got a natural 20.
Okay.
10 silver is 1 gold, right, Dan?
Yeah, so it's 1 gold piece per person.
Okay, so that's 6 of us. Yeah, 6 of us. Okay. All right. Thanks, Penelope. Oh wait, you're yourself. Your name's Penelope now. I'll drop.
I thought you recognized the guard.
Oh, actually, I mean, do I recognize any of the guards?
No.
Okay.
They both look like they are in their early 20s. So
Oh, yeah.
they were probably children last time you were here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pay him. I'll pay him the money.
Good enough. What was the name of the
Sorry.
what was the name of the inn that they suggested we or
Pollard?
Pa Lad Inn.
Pollad.
Meta, hearing this, you do remember there's an inn called the Pa Lad Inn. It's like a father-son establishment. And it's a play on the, it was sort of an homage to the paladin presence in the town.
Got it.
cool. So as we walk into this town, like how busy is it? How big is it? Any 2-story buildings?
You pay the toll. One of the gate guards goes to the wall and starts turning a crank, and you hear something like click on the other side of the wall, and then they push the door open, and there's like a winch pulley thing that will lift up a drop bar that bars the other side of the wall. They let you in, and inside you walk in and you can see mostly one-story houses. As far as you can tell, you're not seeing any paved roads. The roads are muddy and wet. There is still a little bit of snow on most of the roofs. You can see past some of these buildings further up the slope of the mountain inside the town. There is a tall stone structure that it's maybe like 3-4 stories high. Even from this entrance that you're coming in, you can see that there's stained glass windows. And there are some banners that are kind of drifting in the breeze, hanging from it. They look to be this like indigo color with silver trim, similar to what the gate guards are wearing. Meta, you recognize this as the the Temple of Shining Steel.
And so this blue and silver, those are Relinox's colors, right?
Blue and silver are Relinox's colors, yes.
And the gauntlet symbol, is that his symbol, or is that the symbol that
No, his symbol is 2 swords crossed on a shield background.
Okay. So that gauntlet that's on their shields, that's the same thing that's on the back of my neck and that's on all the signs leading up to the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the vibe on the street though? Is it, like, are we in, Nazi Germany or people are scurrying around?
The
Trying not
vibe,
to
the
look at
vibe on
anybody?
the street is pretty somber.
Mhm.
People are trudging from place to place. Even after entering through the gate, you can spot 4 or 5 more of these armored individuals wearing the same colors, functioning as town guards or peacekeepers of some sort. Walking in, you almost don't notice it because it's kind of off to the side, and it's just past the scaffolding that is holding up the palisade on the inside of the wall. But there is a pike that is sticking out of the ground, and on the top of this pike is a skull. And the skull appears to be, and for you readily recognize this as a bear skull, except that it's got 3 rows of fangs instead of 2 canines on the top and bottom. It's got 6 on the top and bottom, and 4 spikes in a line coming out of the top of its skull. You would assume that this is the skull of a demonically corrupted bear,
Yikes.
and it is sitting there right on the inside of the wall on a pike.
Gotcha.
How much
but,
has changed since I've been here? So it looked pretty much the same except for the big wall and
Judging from a quick scan upon entering, most of the buildings, the buildings all look to be in the same place. There's, you remember there being more like decorative stuff. There were, there were a few trees kind of in the city. Not like in the road, but in spaces like little, shade trees, some bushes. Everything seems to be cleared out. There's no signs of nature or anything inside the city center anymore. But yeah, the buildings and the orientations all seem to be the same. At least from this vantage point, nothing looks to have drastically changed.
Should we go to the inn?
I reckon that's the next move.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
You know where it is? Do you remember?
Yeah, I can get us there.
Okay. Um. Okay, you head to the Paulad Inn, and you see there is a sign out front, and it just has like Pa/lad and then inn written underneath it. Not too normal to see inn signs that are written in common. Usually they have pictures, but this one is too hard for me to make a pun out of or a pictogram. So it's just being written. And there are two of the armored individuals standing outside, smoking pipes. And they kind of, scan you guys up and down, try to take stock of you as you walk past them into the inn. Walking in, there are a few tables. One table, there are two more of these guards sitting, sharing a meal. And after a moment, a man comes from the back of the building, an older fella, probably close to 60, looking worn and weary, and he shuffles up and says, "Oh, welcome to my inn. Meta, you recognize this guy. His name's Gareth. His son's name is Eli. They used to run the inn together. When you left, his son was like 16, 17 years old. He says, the order has commandeered most of the rooms, but I do have two to spare. 6 of you. You can probably manage if you're one or two of you are willing to sleep on the floor. I'm sorry, the price is 8 silver a night per room. The order has set the price, so there's not much I can do for that.
So I'll say, we'll take what you've got. And I believe we'll be needing drinks as well, am I right? Right?
Absolutely. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, and what are y'all serving for supper this evening?
Well, I beg your pardon, but all I can offer is water for beverages, and all we have for food is porridge.
Delicious. Water. I'm thirsty. I'll take one.
It's been a long winter. We're rather low on supplies, so
Good enough. Well,
Come with me and I will I'll show you to your rooms. And he kind of hobbles his way up the stairs and takes you down a hall and points out two rooms. Yeah, gestures you go in, and there are each room has two things you would kind of call a bed. That's pretty much it. Like two rundown boxes with old worn in straw covered with a wool blanket.
Calling a bed.
uh-huh.
Well, this is a lot worse than I remember it.
It's very bleak.
Wow, they're on rough times here for sure.
He says, um,
We say that with
you can come down when you like, and I will I'll provide you the bowls of porridge. At least that I can say comes complimentary with the rooms. And he shuffles away. Yeah, going in the rooms, yeah, it's not great. And I'll say Sersha, Rip, you guys immediately notice when you go inside the rooms, like the door catch that would normally be used to like lock the room when you're inside is removed. Like you can see where it used to be, and there just isn't one anymore.
So there's no like the door won't shut all the way or stay shut, or there's no lock.
Yeah, there's no way to fasten it closed once you're inside. You can close the door, but you can't lock it.
Well, do we need to all like huddle in a hut in the room?
Well, let's just set up a watch when we go to bed.
Mhm.
Well, the thing to keep in mind is that Amy and I aren't going to be disguised while we sleep. So if someone comes up in here,
Neither will the rest of us. Like,
Right.
yeah, we're kind of in a quandary here. Like,
Can Sersha do the opposite of? Could she like create a lock? Can you lock something that isn't supposed to lock?
I can't like just pull mechanisms out of thin air.
You cannot.
what's the
What the fuck?
walls made of? Are they made of
The
stone?
walls, wood.
Wood. Can
Yeah,
you shape wood there, big guy?
What's that? So, let me wood shape. I did, I just remember that I did do an iron thing with a boat once. When we were on a boat, but, no, what time of day is it now? Like, are we?
So you guys left the beach
Hmm,
probably around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So it would be well, probably 5 or 6 in the evening at this point. We got
gotcha.
about an hour before the sun sets.
So it feels like we're probably not gonna, call it a day just yet, but I feel like we need to have a little private conversation here, maybe with our compasses, just so that nobody is listening in.
Amy says, does anybody have a spare sword?
Do.
I'm fresh out of swords.
Yeah. I've got one. but it doesn't cut things. It just freezes them.
Do the doors swing into the room or out
For
of the room?
what? Aiming for what?
She holds out her hand to Meta.
I mean, I'll hand her the Holy Avenger, I guess.
Okay.
Don't give her the you don't have a basic sword somewhere?
No.
She touches the handle and goes, oh no.
Fine, here's Northwind. I'll hand her Northwind.
All right. She closes the door and jams the sword in next to the bottom of the door.
There we go.
Now we're all huddled into one room. Is it an adjoining room?
I think for the
No.
moment, we can always, we'll split up for bed, but I think there's a question here of like, are we gonna try to stir a rebellion? Assuming that people are dissatisfied in this town, maybe we can,
The last time I did that, they lined up a bunch of them to murder and
Okay, well, last time you did that, you were a puny, I don't know, you were small. You're so big now.
Okay, but this is a young adult.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
gonna have like 3 people start a revolution.
I mean, we could try it, but what are the
I guess what I'm wondering is like, are we gonna try to do a revolution? Are we gonna try to assassinate some leaders? Like, what?
Well, have you done this before or something?
Well, I lived in the woods. There was a lot,
There's
I
a lot of
tell you guys
revolution.
about the Great Chipmunk Uprising, but the chipmunks and the field mice,
You're
think
so
of
realpolitik.
Redwall. You guys have read the Redwall books. I lived it. I lived Redwall. But no, I'm just wondering, like, I mean, we have some daylight here. Maybe this isn't, maybe we can do some, crowd, what's the fancy word I'm looking for? Surveying. I don't know. We can, come or go walk around town and catch the vibe. But I guess what I need to know, what we need to know, Meta, is what's what are we trying to do here? We trying to save this whole town, or are we trying to kill the
make sure the
leader?
townspeople aren't subjected to this. I mean, you've seen what it's like. This inn used to be rather prosperous. You'd come here and you could drink ale to your heart's content and eat merry and be happy. And look at it now. Water, for Christ's sake. Water, Feldspar.
Right. Okay. Well, so that's what I'm saying here, man, is that I'm feeling a vibe that like this isn't an assassination kind of bit. This is like a stand up and stir the people and in a grand gesture, like unmask yourself and challenge this like merc, to a duel or something, under your god, and before all the men of this town or something. And I'm not saying that's what's happening in the next 20 minutes, but
Rexard and his brother are not going to agree to an honorable duel. It will be tilted in their favor one way or another. And so I think we need to do some reconnaissance. We need to see what's going on and how we can, because the townspeople to me seem like they've given up.
Yeah. That's the vibe from the couple of people that we've run into. There might be a movement, there might be an underground movement here, there might be people that are unhappy, or not. But I guess what I'm wondering is, if we're gonna look to sneak into this cathedral in the night and slay these folks, but if they're like you were saying, if there's good people that are just misguided, then, there might have to be a bit of an unmasking here of like waking people up under your guide, because isn't that a little bit of this here? Aren't we trying to show, what's your god's name, bud?
That last part again, sorry, the baby was crying.
What's your,
Artemis?
what's your god's
Or
name?
wait.
Damus?
Damus.
Yeah, we're trying to show Damus that you are the guy, the savior of his people.
He's kind of mad at me, so I don't even know if I'm gonna have his help during this fight.
That's this because this is the underdog story, man.
Well, you all have seen what's going on here. I mean, you're part of this group now. I probably wouldn't have come back if it was just me.
Let's go downstairs and listen to what people are saying and see if we can figure out where the leader hangs out all the time and go from there.
I mean, I can tell you
There
where
are
he's
people hanging out at
likely
the water porridge bar.
He's probably up at the temple. That's the seat of power. That's
Let's go downstairs and eat some porridge and listen in on people.
Yeah, if beer won't, if there's no beer to
Water.
loosen lips, then maybe the porridge will,
Yeah, maybe the lusty guzzler, we could bust some of that out and make people's day. Or
And
is it all
maybe they'll be
fun?
complaining because they'll be like, oh, grumble, grumble.
I mean, we could try that. We could try to bust some wine out.
Unfortunately, there's guards down there. I mean, there's like off-duty guards sitting around in this tavern place, right? So it's like we need to try to, converse with some non-authority folk. So it's like if we can catch this innkeep where he's not gonna, feel like he has to like put on a show for the local authority. Do you remember, is Gareth like, how did you like him? Was he a good guy?
Was this, Dan, is this the bar I used to always go to as a kid?
I mean, this is an inn. As a kid, you mostly like got someone to get you a bottle of ale, and you and some of the other young folk would like drink it behind a building somewhere. You didn't really go to an inn. You weren't very welcome most places. From what you could tell, Gareth was an okay enough guy. He was racist towards you, though.
No. Well, that's pretty much everybody.
And as you guys are having this conversation, and I'm going to assume you're conducting most of it via the compasses and message.
Yes, we are compassing the heck out of this.
Since you are conspiring to overthrow the local government.
Mhm.
The door jostles and bumps into Metaphor's katana, and then you hear a woman's voice on the other side say, by the order of the Iron Fist, open this door.
The Iron Fist.
Frack.
Well, we open it up.
Amy yanks the sword out, tosses it to Metaphor, and opens the door. And standing on the other side, you see three individuals, woman in front, in full plate, with the indigo tabard with the silver trim, and two individuals behind her, each in breastplates with the same tabard. And Metaphor, you immediately recognize an older Cressa. And she takes a step into the room and says, I'm curious what the six of you are doing in here. but I'm sure I'll find out. And that's where we're gonna end the session tonight.
Okay,